same as it's better also, it's good. um, but those mobile, because in mobile you still have to download some app also for you to be able to start using that particular platform. Okay. And next, I'll give you I'll say that whenever your teacher already gave you the link, when you start, okay, I would rather suggest, write this down. I would rather suggest you students to pay attention. You don't make necessary noises or whatever, but the teacher will definitely will be able to know who are those participants, or you as students, whose mic is not muted, okay, or if their camera is not turned on, okay. So your teacher will be able to know that because he has some tools on, since he's gonna be the host. So she has the tools on that particular screen of hers, where she can check, or she can also, I'll say that, um, mute all of you so that you won't disturb um, her lesson. Okay. Definitely you'll be given time to be give she'll let you give some time for you to engage yourself. Okay. Because every class, let's face it, I know it's quite boring if ever you're just listening. So we wanted as much as possible to make it more interesting, more engaging. So there's gonna be like interactive. You ask, you raise a question. So please, if ever the teacher is speaking, please pay attention. Okay. So next, when students, where you're given also a prompt there, when there's some buttons there actually on the far button, either left or right. You could navigate it. You'll see some buttons like those thumbs down, or there's some poll, where they will, or a pop quiz. Sometimes the teacher will ask you some surveys or some poll, wherever you have to participate, either yes, no, or there's a bunch. So either you have to participate, like joining or clicking it. Okay, if there was a prompt which their teacher prompt you. Okay. And then there's also some like screen share, if your teacher will ask you to share with the class of where are you, so that they'll be able to know what are you doing, or the teacher will know how far you are within the lesson plan, something like that. Okay. So there you just have to click that, I think it's a green button on the on your Zoom screen. Okay. And also, you just have to pay attention for the instructions being given to you. I think there's also a chat, a button there, if ever you wanted to, there's some clarifications or questions that you want, but please, later on I'll give you some tips how you'll be able to um, you know use it correctly, that particular chat room. Okay. So definitely your teacher will definitely launch the program. Okay. So you just have to click the link, and then once it's just like a one time, it will automatically open up, and you'll see. Normally, if ever you put it in your browser, there's some issues with that. Okay. So yeah, I experienced one time I opened it with the browser, but sometimes it doesn't work. So I would rather use the link which was provided. Okay. All right. So beforehand, also you'll be asked also to test um, your microphone. Okay, your audio. So you could adjust that. That's, I think it's in the lower left thing. And then there's a video icon also, where you could see yourself, how you do how you look on the screen itself, before it's going to be broadcast to the whole class or to your classmates. It depends on how many are you in the class. And then if ever you have issues with your camera, or your camera, you just have to set it up, whatever is comfortable on you. Okay. So you can manage on that. Okay. So there are gonna be also some prompt, or how to say that, choices of those background um, in your camera, in case there's some clutter, or there's not a good view or something, or scenery. You can change that. You can as it will, well, definitely it will look more professional. So you can try that. But for me, as long as you're happy with what's within your background, okay. Of course, definitely you're gonna be using some green screen on that before you'd be able to, use that particular screen grab. Okay, so before, and then those sharing screen, I already mentioned that to you. And then there's gonna be like some recording. I think the teacher will definitely provide you house rules on top of that, if ever you're allowed to record that particular class. Okay, so you might as well chat or ask your professor or your teacher about that. And then, as much as possible, make sure that you be more respectful on behalf of the whole class. Okay, so you just have to listen to the rules given to you by your teacher. Student tips. Okay, my tips for you would be number one, try to show up earlier on the class, a few minutes before the class will start up. Normally, if ever the call time is like around 8, I normally like come in early, like around 15 to 20 minutes before the class starts, so that I'll be able to settle in. Okay, so and then once it starts, I'm just gonna ask some questions. If ever there are some clarifications that you need, or concerns that you wanted to ask, okay, or if there's something bothering you, you just have to be yourself, be honest, okay, and then make sure that on the chat you have to think first before you write. So I couldn't emphasize so much about that. It's just like before you click, you have to think, on that particular scenario. Okay, so think before you write, and please respect others. Okay, you're not somebody who just easily bump in and do some stuff. You're all grown up. You're all you're good people or person or good individuals with good values. So please, and I might as well set a just like me. I'm in a quiet area, so I settle with a very good quiet area where I can concentrate during a class. All right, so make it a point that you have a certain space on that. Okay, and and if possible, try to remove all those clutters. All right. Okay, and then make sure that you already have completed your assignments on time, and please communicate also with your teacher freely on certain clarifications, or what the class is, or like in behalf of the teacher, what is she expecting on your behalf, okay, to participate. So those are some of the tips for you students, and if ever you're going to be doing also some presenting or some report, better use if ever you have two monitors, but if you don't have, you can just grab the screen share, and try to minimize your if ever you're doing some presentation. Okay, so don't connect to a smaller screen. It's eye straining. Okay, then test your audio and your videos before you join. So make sure you have like a stable internet. Okay, don't go in what's that, internet cafe, or internet e-games. All right. And then if ever you have a microphone, I suggest that you have this USB connected headset. That's good. And possible, me, I would rather, if I'm attending class, I might as well mute my microphone. Okay. And or my mic. is gonna be it's gonna be new to you. So please pay attention to all the tips I made to you because your teachers is having also a hard time, trying their best to give the lesson that is needed for you to learn. And it is a two-way communication. You can ask your teacher can ask you also. Okay. So, and also make sure that whenever you're in front of this particular cam, make sure it's within eye level because we don't want those cameras pointed somewhere else. You know what I mean? Okay. So as much as possible, make can and you know make contact as possible within eye level. Okay, and don't ever leave your camera off. All right. So guys, I know it's quite fast, and well, I hope that you'll be able to learn a little bit of that. My tips. It's quite a different thing because I'm concerned because there's it was raised a while ago. They were already starting fast, and so I know she felt nervous on that. So as I said, you're doing good. You're okay. Make yourself comfortable. Everybody, there's always a first time. Everybody learn from this particular transition.